Hello and welcome back to the Apex Gauntlet. I'm Tandy, joined by Ross Miriam. Say hi, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Again,
You knew it was going to happen.
I know I'm setting you up for it, but then I also have to do my bit back. Right? The reverse joke.
Don't
The
act all
double, the
surprised.
double twisty reversals. Okay, no takesies, backsies. All right. So today on the Gauntlet, we have gone through a ton of different archetypes. We did a whole modern Gauntlet with your Jeskai Breach deck, where you performed admirably and honestly showcased exactly what the deck could do in a number of matchups.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Should have been a 3-0. I got sloppy at the very last game. And right now we're 1-1 here. So if you win this match, you're even.
Yeah.
You pass the test against mono green. And if you pass the test against both mono green and Rakdos midrange, which is what I'm playing in this segment, you've got a good deck in Pioneer.
Yeah, and I think the big showcase for me in this deck is the experimental frenzies in the sideboard for Rakdos. Yeah. The deck is just very good at grinding. The Rakdos deck is, and just really presses its thumb down on the aggro decks, thanks to Graveyard Trespasser, a ton of spot removal, and you just really need like an engine card to punch through the 1-for-1 trades and the big threats that they play. And so, yeah, my plan in this matchup after sideboard, just a bunch of roast to kill Shieldred and Kalitas, as well as 3 copies of Experimental Frenzy. Most of the time, people side out Thoughtseize, so the Experimental Frenzy is just like safe most of the time.
Yeah, I think the card sounds great. It's just a question of how quickly I, as the Rakdos player, can turn the corner in the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Roast for the big creatures, but there's also Bone Crushers and Graveyard Trespassers. Those can end the game pretty quickly. So Experimental Frenzy usually takes a few turns to get going until you find that glut of spells and you've made a couple land drops.
Yeah.
And suddenly you just explode 4 or 5 permanents onto the battlefield. So if I can close the game while the Experimental Frenzy is getting going and you're searching for that pocket of spells, then it's not going to look as good. But if you can combine it with some removal, suddenly you sort of become the deck with inevitability while also being the deck that has the early game advantage. And that's just a complete domination in the matchup.
Yeah, I think that this whole match is going to come down to whether or not I'm able to draw Frenzy and whether or not I'm able to force you to play reactive.
Yeah.
The deck plays very well when you're ahead because a lot of your cards are pressure and removal, thanks to Bone Crusher. The 2-drop Blood Tide Harvester, just excellent at being versatile in different spots. And if I can keep the board mostly clear on your side by forcing you to be reactive, that's when Experimental Frenzy is going to shine. Because if I cast that and you have no threats in play, I don't think you can possibly win.
I completely agree.
All right.
I don't think you're going to cast it when I don't have threats in play because I'm great.
I mean, you are great. You are great. It's fine. All right. Well, I did win the last match, so you can be on the play here for the final round. I like to hear that. Ugh. Take a look at the opener. Ugh.
I'll play a Blood Crypt tapped. I'm keeping it solely on the strength of this card.
All right. Well, I'm keeping it solely on the strength of this card. Phoenix Chick.
19.
No one wants to kill Phoenix Chick. It's free damage. I play Splitspear instead. Dead. No one ever kills Phoenix Chick.
I mean, I'm going to do it.
Oh, you did.
Dreadbore Phoenix Chick. That might be the worst feeling I've ever had playing Magic.
Bang.
I go to 17.
Yeah, your turn.
Haunted Ridge Fable.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to eat my Phoenix Chick. I was going to be so sad.
I make a Goblin.
Yep.
Guess we're using these.
That's fine. Well, we had Goblin tokens way earlier, but I don't think that they were ours. I think they were from a different deck, so that's okay. That's okay.
Got another haste creature?
I don't. I wish I did, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Really wish I did. Let's just go stamp. One on Aventia.
Taking 3.
Before damage, I'm going to play with fire you.
So I'm going to take 6.
Top card is a land I don't want, so yeah.
I'm going to end at 11.
I think so.
No.
You're better at math than me. I don't know.
Yeah, you just did 6 total this turn, and I started at 17.
Yeah,
because you just had the 3 haste creatures in the first 2 turns. Okay. Draw. I will discard Mountain and Blood Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
I literally kept 5 lands Dreadbore Fable. I was like, well, at least 2 of these lands are going to be spells.
Come on.
And now I have Haunted Ridge, and I found Graveyard Trespasser to eat the Phoenix Chick.
And the game's over.
And I go to 12, and now it is day. Pass the turn.
Now it is day, he says. Yeah, I just assume he has Fatal Push, so we'll just play Bone Man and say go. No reason to do anything drastic.
Alright, instead, Fatal Push the Swifty. And draw.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3, get a Reflection.
Scissors, people play Hazaret in this build. The original version that Island Ghost Same played, and I didn't like it. It got stuck in my hand a couple times, and like I know that Frenzy costs 4 too. Like I played it and just had random 2-drops stuck in my hand that couldn't be cast very quickly.
Let's play Liliana and Edict you, I guess. And I've got a tapped Blood Crypt, and I'll pass the turn.
It also just got blocked a bunch. Frenzy just dominates, and I think that you can just play enough around Hazaret where it's just not good enough. But
Gain a bunch of life, the Shielder and Kalidas. I'm at a pretty healthy life total here. Todd doesn't have a ton of cards left, but we got these dens to tend with. So against an Atarka's command, I want to double block, but then I'll lose both creatures, which is not great. Still, yeah, I'm gonna double block.
all right, I'm gonna deal 3 to her.
And pump.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna shock the 2/2.
Oh, pretty good.
All right, clear it up. And then in case he plays another Lily, I'm just gonna. I guess you would Edict.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'm just gonna play my life. Here we go. Gives away a little info leak for the den, but could go Lily, tick out, plus Dreadbore or something, and I might need to land. Top 19 from Trespasser. That's true.
Yeah. Well, I tap Blood Crypt and pass.
It technically becomes nighttime now, just so we know.
Yes.
You draw.
It is now nighttime.
All right, Jam a Den of Bugbear. You got anything for it?
I do not.
All right, Techie for 8. Oh, I didn't even see your den. Oh, that's actually fine though.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're fine with
I I've never seen that version in real life. It looks fake.
I'll block a den.
Right.
Take 5, go to 7.
Okay, your turn.
Go. A little bit of a blood ski on my side.
Pump daily 3.
I'm dead. Got another land, and another land, and another land,
And a Bushman.
and a Thoughtseize.
Well, I don't like how I won that one. I feel like with a slightly better draw, you could have very easily been in the game.
Yeah, you still had a lot left at the end of that game, though. So even if you take, 2 of my lands and make them spells, I still think you're in good shape.
Sure. You like this new format of gameplay? You mean like how we're doing the Gauntlet? Because I think the Gauntlet is great. Like this is something that we're going to look forward to doing every time we come up, where we're just going to take what we think is like a new deck that's cool or like the best deck, and we're just going to slam it against some of the killers of the format.
I'm just going to take whatever deck I've been winning with and show off.
Yeah, that's fair too. That's kind of what we both did, right?
Yeah. Oh, we need to
We'll bring the marbles next time. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I just forgot them this time.
I was lamenting that I left them at home.
All right.
We might have to do something different.
Yeah, marbles are done. You won them. Game was over.
We just have like something in the store that gets left behind. Yeah, can't keep this hand. I don't have any red mana. I've got awkward lands.
I can keep mine, but I hate it. This is like my least favorite hand I've seen with this deck. But it's technically a keep. Technically a keep. Yeah. Just get a dice trophy. Just get a trophy filled with marbles.
It's a trophy made out of marbles. Like they're all glued together in the shape of a trophy.
Yes, yeah. Love to see it.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Where would we get that many marbles?
I'm sure
I'd
you can buy
have to
bulk
go.
marbles.
I think I would have to just steal all yours because I don't even know where to buy marbles anymore.
Just Google marbles. I'm sure it'll come up.
Did Corey win the marbles?
I won them back when we played in Columbus.
Who won the Modern Series? We're also in the Modern Series. I'm mostly clean sweep.
Okay, well,
His deck's very good.
I'll play Blood Crypt. Literally the same hand I had last game.
Alright, come on, you. I like it when they hold up Fatal Push on one and you play Kamado. It's just like, wah, wah. Draw. Chapter 2.
Got for me. Another Kamano. I'm at 18.
Whoops. We play a Pathway on green as they go.
Just giving away all our secrets.
I don't know what you want from me. I had 2 Pathways, and I need green mana for some reason. I can't tell you why. Like I said, not my favorite hand in the world.
Okay. Haunted Ridge. Fable.
Mm-hmm.
Get a Goblin. You're up.
Etching's coming in.
Now that does not get a counter from the other Kumano. You have to cast creatures to get a counter from that.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Stompies. Back for 2.
At 16.
Here we go.
Draw. Chapter 2. I will discard. Let's go for a Swamp Croxa.
Bet you can't wait to get that one out of your deck.
Oh yeah.
Up Croxa.
And I will play Mountain Harvester, get a blood token. Here's a blood token. And I will Dreadbore or
You go.
any creature.
Any target. Draw. Chapter 3. Let's go Shockies. I'm gonna go. I guess play with fire thing and Bushman. 3 for 5.
Go to 11.
Here we go.
Awkward that my creatures are getting exiled when I've got Croxa.
Oh yeah, feels Batman.
Chapter 3 here, so I'm going to get a Reflection. Got a nice little turn here, though.
Uh-oh.
Mm,
That always means.
I guess it's actually not very nice at all, because these Kumanos aren't creatures in the graveyard.
Nice.
But I do think I want to get that off the battlefield. Maybe I don't. Like, Croxa will eventually become a thing, right?
Hopefully.
Lightstep Pathway. Yeah, I'm going to stomp the Bushwhacker and then play Trespasser and exile it, so I get a life.
Okay.
I'm at
12.
12.
It's daytime.
It is daytime. So this is a.
Actually, sorry. Let me do this.
So this is a whatchamacallit?
Yeah, nothing to see here.
Atarka's command.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll block.
I see you take 5. Each trade.
Yep. 7.
Okay, here we go. It's still daytime.
Back this blood. Discard a land.
Okay. A creature?
Uh,
Oh, I guess you have that. That's fine. Plus an attack for 4, maybe. You have a pushies.
back for 2.
Uh-oh.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I think I should be at 15 because I shocked you hit me for 2 and you gained 1 and drained me for 1 with a trespasser. So I think I'm at 15.
You have 3 in hand?
I have 3 in hand.
It's a lot.
Alright, back.
I do think I have to deal with this flyer, so I'm trying to get to this Croxa.
Not there yet, yeah.
1 away. So the Kumano did just enough here because I've had other stuff to do with my mana that I haven't needed the Croxa, and now would be great.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Coleman, I haven't really played with or against 5-color Zoo since any of the new stuff came out. I don't really know. I know that someone played a Zoo deck recently and it was fine. Thomas, we were invited here by the Apex Home Store to do coverage a couple months back for their invitational. They've sponsored my stream before, and they brought us up again to do coverage from yesterday. And today we were just putting on a show for y'all because we want to make it worth everyone's while to bring us down here. Yeah,
Yeah,
Take
I'll go to
two.
5.
Give me for 8.
I don't think so. I think I don't want to die to haste creature Atarka's command.
Sure.
And
You can just do it next turn or whatever. So.
Well, I guess I could just attack with this Bone Crusher and still have 1 blocker for a haste creature. You could have 2 haste creatures. Like, if you have land, double haste creature, Atarka's command, like, sure, I'll die to that.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't have a... Yeah. So I think I'm just going to go with that.
All right, I'm at 11.
Pass. Now I can use the Reflection as a blocker.
What do you think I need?
The land. That was a Bushwhacker.
Am I dead? No. Let's stop this.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Make a 4/4/4/3 in response.
Yep. If I don't do that, I die. So, in a turn, Bone Crusher dies. You're go. Now he croaks at me. I'll discard a spell. I go to 7. I just have to draw a land to kill him. Discard a Karzev.
I have to draw a land to kill me.
I just have 2 Targus commands.
Um.
But like Stomp plus Targus command.
Yeah, you didn't play a 1-drop last turn, so I don't think you're gonna
No.
double 1-drop me. So attack for 4.
A 7.
You're up.
Plant.
But now you have to rip another command. Gonna have to
2
discard
damage
one.
spell. Any 2 damage
Yeah,
spell
2
kill
damage.
you. Yep. Darn. Removal kills me though.
Well, not that removal spell.
Ha, Mr. Bone Man. Yes, hey, Mr. Bone Man.
So yeah, attack. Take 4. You go to 3. Play a Fable, get a Goblin, and pass the turn.
Alright, put you to 2.
Yep.
I got a bunch of outs. They're all medium. That one wasn't it. Man, I was so close. I wonder if I could have played differently to get you there, man. There was a turn where I what did I play? I was gonna like hold up Atarka's command to go Atarka's command EOT, and I didn't play my Karzev. My hand was Karzev 2 things. I don't remember what I did instead though. Maybe I cast Bone Crusher Giant, but Karzev maybe can squeak through damage because it has Menace plus the extra token. Dang. Oh well.
Close game.
Yeah, very tight. All right, so
My 6-card hand, by the way, or my 7-card hand that I kept was once again 5 lands, Fable, Dreadbore.
come on.
I was on 6 this time,
Oh, that's fair.
so I
Okay.
put a land back.
All right, well, let's do some sideboarding here. See if we can get a little bit better after board. I'm gonna be bringing in some roast,
that.
some squeeze, and some experimental frenzies. And against most opponents after sideboard, I think siding out a Tarkus command is fine. It gets a lot better. It gets a lot worse after sideboard in most matchups, just because either it wasn't good to begin with, or they just bring in a bunch of cheap spot removal or sweepers. So it's the thing I think about siding out if my opponent is being interactive or playing a bunch of blockers most of the time. What other card is bad in the matchup? Stone Man's good. Kamano.
Okay. Well,
Play with Part's bad. That's the one I cut.
against Go Wide aggro decks, it's Thoughtseize, Liliana, and Croxa that I do not like. We got a bunch of sweepers, an Extinction Event, Hidetsugu consumes all, and then we got another Kalitas. So one of these cards has to go back because I don't like anything else in my sideboard. I think I'm fine with 1 Croxa. The fact that you can pitch it to Fable makes it a lot better, so you can just sit there and interact and then have that, lined up. It's a little awkward with the Hidetsugu consumes all, but I still think it's better than Liliana and Thoughtseize.
Mm-hmm. All right, my side, the 3 roasts are coming in. They kill Sheoldred and Cletus right off the rip, which is nice. Experimental Frenzy is an engine card that they have trouble dealing with when their hand is very sweeper heavy or reactive. And then Squeeze a 3-drop that can punish them if they tap out for removal, while also being something I can bring back from the graveyard in an attrition war. But, of course, it does get eaten by graveyard trespassers, so it doesn't always get the job done, but it's certainly a fine threat. Play with Fire has a couple targets. The Bloodtithe Harvester is the one that you want to target the most with it, but When you're facing off against Bonemans and Trespassers, Play with Fire just really shrinks in your hand. And when your opponent's hitting you with 1,000 sweepers and you're boarding in non-creatures, Tarkus command gets a lot worse.
Yeah, really shifting the game plan here. Not as much reach. Instead, trying to play some more heavy hitters that can do the job from a higher life total. Maybe sometimes I'll have the exact right answers to them, but in the post-board games, you got to expect your opponents are going to be able to blunt your early aggression a lot more consistently, and so you're just not going to get them into burn range as often.
Right. Yeah, I was so close to winning game 2 there. Just like needed one more mana, needed you to like not put pressure on me for like one extra sequence. But I mean that's really why the Rakdos deck is so good, is because you have the dynamic nature of a mid-range deck to be aggressive, and specifically the new 3-drops in the last few years of Bone Crusher Giant and Graveyard Trespasser give the deck just something to do in the mid game that is aggressive, but also still very good against aggro.
Yeah, and that's been a hallmark of mid-range control decks that are successful for the last 4 or 5 years.
It
Being
used
able
to be
turn
all
the
4
corner.
drops though, right? Siege Rhino and things like that. But
Yeah.
like now it's heavy on 3. 3 is the big deal now. All right, I'll be on the play here for game number 3. Take a look at the opener. It is reasonable.
Yeah, agreed. It's reasonable.
Bonk. No 1-drop.
Oh my god, that's amazing because I have a tapped land.
Well, my turn 2 is pretty good. We're gonna go
No,
Burning
you can
Tree
only-
Karzov.
That is pretty good
That makes up for it.
because you have to play this den. Stomp the emissary.
You go.
Pass the turn.
All right. Just gonna cast Bone Crusher Giant. Just keep the curve. Hit you for 3.
17.
You're good.
I will play a Graveyard Trespasser.
I go
Go
-1.
back up to 18. Make it a little harder for Todd to clear the way with a removal spell.
Right.
I take 3, go to 15.
I don't have any green cards in my deck after sideboard, so I'm just gonna play Frenzy.
That's not good.
Here you go. This is what we're talking about. He doesn't have a board presence. I actually offered the trade with Bone Crusher instead of being a little any more tricky or whatever. And so now we're just gonna play off the top of the deck for the rest of the game. Shield Dread or something like that could be problematic. Kalidas could be bad. We'll just have to see what he do. But I mean, I'm at 19. He has to do me a lot of damage. Those aren't good enough. But
2 blood tokens.
they will buy him some time. All right, so we'll draw for
6
turn.
power.
Right, but I'm saying, like that's not the card I'm afraid of or whatever. All right, off the top, deal you 1.
Yep.
We'll play Pathway. Play Swift Spear. Go. Can't really bluff. Don't want to trade Karzev for nothing. Don't want to lose everything for very little gain.
Play Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Trade 1 Harvester. Push the Swift Spear.
No Kalidas is great news for me. Kalidas
you
or
for 3.
Shieldred both would have been good. All right, 16.
And play a Fable.
Yeah.
Get a Goblin Shaman. Pass the turn.
Nice turn, nice turn. Draw. Chapter 2, top card. Let's go. Stomp something. I have to choose targets before I can see the top card, so.
Yeah. Can't play cards from your hand, so you can still play the Bone Crusher from the exile.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Like that. Come on,
Go to
trigger.
13.
Haven't played a land yet. Definitely. Counter him. Nope.
Wow.
I mean, Frenzy's nuts, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's the whole reason
Oh.
I'm playing this deck is because of Frenzy.
Yeah, you've also hit a lot of very specific cards that made it a lot better against my plan. I was hoping you would just, after I dealt with the Karizev, you would play a bunch of ones, and then I would just Extinction Event you. And, I made it, I played all evens.
Yeah.
And now I think I have to send this away.
Oof.
I need to find Hidetsugu consumes all to deal with these.
Mm-hmm.
But I also need to answer this Bone Man. We'll draw there. Draw here.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, that's a pretty good one. I think I'll just discard the land.
Probably means 4 drop. Let's see which one.
Sack the other blood, discard land again.
Mm-hmm.
That is excellent.
No!
Red Warrior Bone Crusher, take
Take
2. Attack for 2, get a treasure, use the treasure to play my own Bone Crusher.
Okay.
So you go to 14. And I'm at 11, pass.
Draw. Chapter 2, Chapter 3.
And this is like the third turn. You got a ton of lands. It's going to be tough to miss. Where is that?
This. Counter. Land. That feels dirty. 2 mana floating. Oh, I'll just cast Boatman. Go.
Chapter 3 on the Fable. Play Shieldred.
Yep.
And what happens if I attack with Bone Crusher? I'm at 11.
Probably just trade Bone Man. It's probably fine for you.
Yeah.
I don't double block. I think double block's nightmarish.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, can you just take it? You go to 10, you go to 8 when you
I
draw.
would never take it with this on the table.
Yeah.
It just constricts 2 more turns of being able to frenzy you.
When you draw, I could potentially take 6, but that's, ugh.
You can also just wait and build up like multiple Bone Man tokens to attack, but
I mean, I think I do have to just try to end the game. And this is the only way I can actually trade Bone Man because of the Loyalist.
okay.
The Loyalist is the awkward part. And then I will pass the turn. You'll go to 12 when you draw.
Yep. Let's do this tapped probably. Oh, sorry, this 2.
Yeah. And here you're seeing, Todd not really care about being as aggressive. He knows the frenzy gives him inevitability.
We're gonna crack this, and I'm gonna roast this.
It's disgusting.
We're gonna swing with these for 8. Zergo can't attack, doesn't have haste.
Okay, how could I possibly win this game?
You have to draw Hidetsugu or Extinction Event or whatever immediately.
But even if I draw a
You block
Hidetsugu,
this.
well, it's not going to trade.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess.
Yeah, I guess I go to 3.
Okay. Here you go.
I don't think I have an out because I've just got a land in my hand. Yeah, Fatal Push is not even close to good enough.
All right.
Yeah, Frenzy just completely dominated that game.
Yep. Frenzy is one of those cards that's just always so surprisingly nuts whenever you actually get to do it. The bottleneck is that it costs 4 mana in your deck that only plays like 21 lands. And just like when it was in Standard, if you have a hand where you have Frenzy and only 2 lands or 3 lands and just never draw the 4th one, or just don't draw it in time, just doesn't do anything. So I actually kept a very mana-heavy hand. I had like 4 land, Frenzy, Burning Tree, Karizev, and I was like, all right, let's do that on the play,
Yeah, I mean, maybe I have to have some Duresses in my deck.
I mean, you can just play Thoughtseize if you want. I don't think it's that bad against me. Like, people always cite it out, but against the non-skewer decks, it's much stronger, but there's always that liability that my hand's empty and you just draw Thoughtseize.
Sometimes you get to take like a roast and clear the path for your Shielder to live or your Kalitas.
Yeah. Marco says bring back Runaway Steamkin. I say, why not? Why not just play? Have you seen the Burgee Steamkin Hazrat's Monument deck?
Yeah.
I think that deck could play main deck or sideboard Experimental Frenzy, and it would be awesome.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah. I don't know why that deck didn't pick up steam. The new Flamestone Kabu guy I think is actually really good in the deck.
The Hazard's Monument is a May, right? You may discard them if you do draw.
I don't know.
Because you just get to look at the top of your deck with Frenzy and be like, well, I'll discard if it's a land. I'll not if it's a spell and keep recasting it.
Yeah.
It's like when the Jund sacrifice deck would have Catacomb Sifter and Bolus the Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
When you combine those two, then you just start going nuts. That actually sounds awesome.
Yeah, let's do it. That's our new project.
Just cut Collector Company and play Frenzy.
Yeah, Frenzy's great. Then you can play mono red. You don't have to play another color.
Did we just break it? Right here?
Yeah, I
on
think
the
we
Apex
did.
Gauntlet stream?
You heard it here, folks. Go buy your Frenzies right now.
What is it? It's 2-1 right now? You're up? Well, I think I'm mulliganing again. I have a 1-lander.
My hand is great. That's fine. It's pretty good. It's great. All right, taking questions from Chad while Ross is mulliganing, if anyone has any. We have a good time whenever we come up here to Caldwell, and the folks at Apex Gaming are kind enough to bring us on to do commentary and now to do the Apex Gauntlet series. And looking forward to doing it again in a few months. What weekend are we coming back? It's like December 5th or something?
First weekend of December.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're 100% confirmed, but that's the plan right now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the plan is to come back and do basically all this again. There's another 1K plus on that Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to be doing this again, but with a whole different lineup of decks.
Yeah. D-Mock asking Ross, have you made any changes to your version of the Breach deck? Played a few games with it last night and really enjoyed it. If you watched earlier in the stream, we did a whole gauntlet of Breach. So you can go back and watch the VODs. That was with my current list. So that list, is played there. I don't know, Taryn, do you know where have you posted the list that we've played today somewhere? You probably put that in the chat.
Exclamation point deck or deck list, I think, in the chat.
Yeah.
One of those exclamation point decks. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Click that. That's the link to all the deck lists, including Ross's Jeskai Breach deck.
It's pretty similar. I just have 2 Teferis in the main now and only 3 Shredders.
Shredder was actually not that impressive to me when I was watching you play.
Shredder is solid in a lot of other... It's quite good. I've missed the 4th one, but I think the second Teferi has been great.
Yeah.
And Shredder is just good.
If for some reason you don't get to watch the VOD D-Mock, all this is going to go on YouTube later on, so in a few days.
Okay.
Ross and I also did commentary yesterday on their 2.5K, and all those will be on YouTube in the next few days as well.
I will play on Haunted Ridge.
Phoenix Chip!
19. Tap Flood Crypt, so you can go.
Phoenix Chip!
18.
Hey, that was bad. Actually, no, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this stack.
So 16.
Oh, I'm about to get blown out. You're good. Oh, well.
Castle Lock, though, Hitotsugu consumes all.
I was going to play a 2-drop, but I think I was getting Robodope. I figured you
Yeah.
just had Fatal Push anyway, so it just didn't really matter. Let's go Ouchies, Kumano, Karizev. I'm at 18, you're at 15.
Kumano.
Your turn.
That's on chapter 1. Okay, exile your graveyard.
Mm-hmm. Did you have the Fatal Push too? Just so I know.
Oh.
Yeah, of course. It always feels bad when you get got, but usually there's just no right answer.
Okay.
That's the frustrating
I'm
part.
going to play Sulphur Springs, Fatal Push the Karizev, Graveyard Trespasser, exile the Karizev, go to 16. You're up. Yeah, I had you either way you played it.
All that coming and going. Had you coming and going. Rocher thing, discard a card, Polluting Forests. Here you go. It is daytime.
Okay, chapter 3 here.
That's a big boy.
I will play a Blood Tithe Harvester, get a blood token. I will sacrifice the blood token immediately. Discard Blood Crypt.
And play Haunted Ridge. That's the turn. Feeling pretty good about this game.
Oh yeah, you mean the 3-for-1 on 3 on the fly? That good?
Even exiled the Phoenix chick right afterwards, so just had it all. It's a little awkward.
Why are modern card prices taking on MTGO? I don't know. What do you want from me? I think they just upped the some of the more expensive cards in Pioneer, or sorry, in Modern. They just increased the number they gave away in treasure chests. I know that people were just drawing way more. People were just hitting way more Ragavans.
So you take 3. This gets a counter, right?
I could be wrong.
Deals damage to a player.
Doubles his power.
Put a counter on it. And if it is dealt 10 or more damage to that player this turn. Okay, it's all in one turn. It gets a counter when it deals damage to a player. Deals damage to anything. You take 3, and now it's a 4/4.
Okay.
You're 14.
Cool.
Now I'm at 14.
Go. What are your thoughts on what gets banned tomorrow in Pioneer and Standard? I don't think anything's getting banned. I think we're going to see unbans, personally.
It's another counter.
Uh-huh.
Extinction event on even. Oh, no, that's an odd. I was thinking it was a 2. Well, that's awkward.
Nothing.
Yeah, pass.
Alright, General Soaking Zone.
Yep.
Back for 4.
And
Go.
so now I'm going to extinction event even hit those. You can now squee, though.
Maybe. Oh, I should have just squeezed instead.
Well, you can't. You need 4 others. So you need the Soakins in.
Okay.
I think I should.
I think I'm just dead. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah. Tap land. I was just thinking about maybe castling, but attack for 5.
Yeah,
so you go to 5. This gets counter.
I just don't
No
have
extinction event on even. Yeah. Now you can't draw roast.
Well, roast only hits non-flyers.
This is a trampler.
Oh my god! I thought I had flying forever. What?
Yeah.
You win.
The trample is good enough. Like.
Datsugu. Game ended on turn 3.
Yeah. Okay, we are now 2-2, so we got one more game here.
Yeah, we'll see if Frenzy can take another post-board game. This is... I don't know. We'll see. The sweepers are tough, this deck has a lot of 1s and a few 3s. And so, Extinction Event, very strong, but Hidatsugu Consumes All is just brutal. Backbreaking.
Yeah, it's like an Anger of the Gods that doesn't kill my, Blood Tithe Harvester if I play it on turn 2.
Yeah, but it also kills, my Kumanos before they flip and stuff.
Yeah.
So, there's... normally the Kumanos are actually sick because you can play them and, you don't have to sweat a sweeper for a turn or two sometimes.
Yeah. But you're still getting damage in from the initial trigger and then from adding a counter to your other creatures, especially because you're playing so many haste threats.
All right, best red 1-drop ever printed in Standard. Go.
Goblin Guide's got to be in the Swift Spear.
Swift Spear.
Yeah, it's got to be Swift Spear.
Yeah. I think you could make an argument for Jackal Pup, just for being a revolutionary 1-drop.
At the time.
Yeah, but I think
Mobmancer, pretty good one.
Mobman's great.
But yeah, I think the answer is pretty clearly Monastery Swift Spear.
I think that card
has been very good in every single format. It's one of all these discussions about what's the best or most powerful. A lot of people just devolve into which one is the best in Legacy. Or vintage.
Yeah, but
I actually like
metagame.
Yeah, I like to consider a wide array of contexts. Lodestone Golem is great in vintage, but that's really just because Mishra's Workshop is great.
Right.
Delver's
only good because of days.
Yeah, so I like Delver's a card that goes down in my estimation, though it was very good in Standard, but only for one of its seasons. The next year it was unplayable. Yeah, these Mana Leak and the Phyrexian spells. Had a lot of help.
Yeah, Goblin Guide is really good too, though.
But I think Swift Spear is better than Goblin Guide.
I agree.
It goes in the burn decks and
it goes in more red decks.
Yeah, more red decks and in Prowess decks. I played it in Izzet Phoenix at one point.
All right, 1-6. I'm thinking.
I'm keeping 7 for the first time. This is great.
Let's go. Come on, I'll bang you.
I don't want you to bang me.
Sorry, my bad.
Swamp go. Yeah, I'll push the Kari Zev. They're both 3 damage, but Kari is more awkward to answer.
True dat.
Den of the Bugbear, Blood Tithe Harvester. Get a blood. Please let me block.
No, roast you. Die for 5.
Does get exiled, so I'll go to 14.
I don't love having a burner roast there because it is really important at shield dread, but like my turn otherwise would have just been embarrassing. So, and I just need to push damage when I can. I think.
Haunted Ridge, Trespasser, Exile.
So gross.
Go to 15.
Absolutely despise Graveyard Trespasser.
I will trade.
All right, it's daytime.
There's another card you're gonna despise.
Oh my god.
I'm actually gonna play Swamp and pop this blood first. Discard a Blood Crypt, and then consumes all. Pass the turn.
So embarrassing, man. All right, go.
Exactly how I wanted this to go.
Hidetsugu consumes all.
Chapter 2. Those go there. Play a Den. Play a Fable. Get a Goblin. Pass the turn.
Stomp Goblin, go.
Certainly not completely out of the woods at this point, but
No, but you still have 2 Den of Bugbear too. Like things are bad for me. Chapter 2, discard 2 lands, turn them into spells.
and that is exactly what I'll be doing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you see why people love this Rakdos deck, right? Like, you very rarely run out of steam. You got a lot to do with your mana. You have, like, crazy sweepers, Fable the Mirror Breaker. It's just so dirty.
The Sulphur Springs and Tenacious
Dirty
Underdog.
dog!
This can't attack yet.
True that.
And pass the turn. Roast my vessel. Sure.
I don't know, it's just gonna... I mean, actually, I'll just play Bone Man. Whatever.
Okay.
Go. I can't win no matter what I do, so we're just looking to get to game 6. Still got 23 minutes, so...
This gets exiled and comes back, so I can Fatal Push that off the top and get in with the Den.
GG, Ross. GG.
Just attack for 10.
That good?
Still had Bone Man back.
Good.
Yeah, that was ideal, especially because I knew I had the Fable too, so I could play. I had all those on turn 3, so I play Trespasser on 3, trade for your 2-drop, gain a life. Then I get to sweep and then play the Fable, so I don't lose any of those tokens to the Hidetsugu. It all just worked out incredibly well. That's one of those games where one person's draw just lines up.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean that's why that deck is so strong. Like you have so many ways to use your mana that like it's hard for things not to line up. The only time that doesn't line up is when you draw 5 lands and 2 spells in your opener and keep it, which you've done twice, and I think you lost both those games. So
I think I won one of them.
Sure. Regardless.
But it was close.
Yeah.
And I got crushed in the other one.
Normally that deck, like against any aggro deck, you just have a bye. Like it's crazy. Like I can't, like I've never seen such a high percentage like type of deck versus type of matchup. Like maybe like Price of Progress, Burn, and Legacy versus like some deck. I don't know. But
I once played a Sultai control deck in Legacy that could never be burned.
yeah, I also hate Trespasser more than any other thing. Well, I know Soulscar Mages, we don't actually have a lot of instant sorceries, non-creatures in general, Eurolix. Original version had 2 copies, and we may go back up. I'm not sure.
I
do
think
some more work on the archetype.
the thing with Trespasser is I also think it's really annoying. And it's the kind of card that you usually don't see in mid-range decks because it's going to be bad against the decks that are going over the top of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that good against mono green. It's one of the weaker cards, right?
Yeah, you sided out against
Yeah. But mono green suppresses all of the other decks it would be bad against, and instead brings a metagame where there's a ton of decks it's good against.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you saw Nykthos get banned and mono green out of the metagame, these decks would probably stop playing Trespasser, and their matchup against aggro would get a lot worse.
Yeah, there was like a week span, like 2 weeks ago, where the meta was basically just Rakdos and mono green and no aggro, and everyone just cut Trespasser, and it was weird. Like Aspiring Spike, or not Spike, Misplaced Ginger like cut it and was playing leagues without it. Edgar Maguiage was like posting like 5-0s after 5-0s. I think he said he 5-0'd 4 out of 5 leagues with no Trespasser.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I tried it on stream, and then I just played against 3 aggro decks. I was like, what are you doing? It's like the best card in the deck.
I just mulliganed a 1-lander there. That was also probably my best draw of the day. It was the first time I had a Fatal Push in my opener. Great.
Have you not fatal pushed me on 2 multiple times?
Yeah, but it's usually because it's my first draw step.
Yeah. All right. You're on 6, or are you just shuffling for game?
I'm on 6.
Okay.
I don't
My opener's D's. D's minus?
He's minus.
Yeah, I mean, no frenzy.
Yeah, it has felt like the post-sideboard games, now that my deck is a lot leaner, Frenzy has been the one way you've won a game.
Lean is not how I would say. Your deck is much more sweeper. More broomy.
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna win, but we'll try it.
Zap you.
19. I will play a Castle Lock Thwain and pass.
Go. 4 toughness. Not bad.
Down at the Bugbear, Blood Tithe Harvester.
You think that's good enough, or
Get a blood token.
yeah? Etchings comes in. Do a little stomp. Back for 6.
I'm at 13.
Your turn. Kinda wanted another land there to really do some explosive stuff, but I mean, we got all spells, so. And he didn't Dreadbore anything or Fatal Push anything. So I guess he just has
Haunted
like
Ridge.
Extinction Events or whatever. Hit at 2s.
Blood Tithe Harvester.
Okay.
It'll push your cardies in. That was a good draw.
Oh, yeah?
I've got a shot now.
Yeah. You were 100% dead without a
Yeah.
Fatal Push that turn. I just need a land.
Yeah,
Give me a land.
would you keep 4 lands double Harvester on 6?
Maybe. Go.
11.
Give me a land.
Light Step Pathway, Kalitas.
There it is. There's the bane
up.
of my existence. Roast. Too late. If I had a land before that, I would have been kicking bushwhackers in your face for the last 3 straight turns. Now I just can't win. That's fun.
So would you say Kalitas was a good draw with my hand of 3
Are you
lands?
kidding? You just drew Push Kalitas for perfect mana usage and
You
interaction?
can also do 2 lands, so 2 heaters, 2 bricks.
Okay.
The heaters were just really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how this matchup goes. It's so embarrassing sometimes. That's why, you just have to have Frenzy or something stupid to go over the top.
Well, I mean, it's not like I can start
I
attacking.
can't attack anymore.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But I also can.
Go.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn this mountain into a card. And let's play Haunted Ridge. And stomp your 2/2. Get a zombie.
I love that I'm just trying to explain to Ross that the game is over, and he tries to tell me that wait.
I'm not saying, I have to draw poorly. I drew Bone Crusher Giant. It's great.
Yeah. It's not that you have to draw Bone Crusher on it. You have to draw a spell.
Pass.
Any spell.
Yeah.
And I probably still can't win. All right. Stop whining, Tandy.
I would have agreed with that assessment. I needed to break.
Bang.
I will go to 7.
Wait, maybe.
I will go to 6. Now I think the game's over.
Let's do it, man. Whatever.
I will name Odd.
Good draw. Non-bow, though.
I think I will
Coward.
just attack for 3.
Yeah.
17 and 9. You're up.
Okay. Mono, Phoenix Chick, Bushwhacker, attack for just 2 in the air. Hit you for 3 total. Bushwhacker, aka Embarrassment. Did you draw push too? How did you draw push in that time period? I don't understand. You win. I quit. I'm out. Get me out of this place. I want to go home. 4-2, whatever. I won 1 with a frenzy. I'll take it.
Yeah, Frenzy looked great. I will give you that.
Here we go, chat. Atarka red Gauntlet.
I think that's an undersung aspect of this Rakdos deck is the card selection from Fable and from the blood tokens, really means that you see the cards that you need to see in a reasonable time frame.
Oh, absolutely. I think that like I said, the reason why most of the good decks in the format are good is because of raw mana usage. You have so many extra permanents like the blood tokens, or you have creature lands like Lair of the Hydra, flashback cards, just crazy amount of rebuy equity. And if you can use all your mana every turn, usually you win.
And then after sideboarding, sometimes game one, I'll preface it by saying this, sometimes in game one, you're using your mana on cards that are ineffective in the matchup. I've got things like Thoughtseize, Liliana, Croxa that aren't going to do a whole lot. Once you get those cards out and just bring in bangers like Extinction Event and Hidetsuga Consumes All, suddenly you're always using all your mana and you're always using it on something good.
Yeah.
Now, your deck just kind of relies on redundancy for consistency. It probably needs some other way to fix its draws. And I'm not sure what that is. Normally aggro decks don't have that. They rely on the explosive capabilities, but with the cheap interaction that's available with Fatal Push and these sweepers, Hitsuga Consumes All seem absurd.
Yeah, it's dirty too. There's nothing really you can do about it. Like the aggro decks just have to be low to the ground to be able to beat a mono green, and that just means you get bottlenecked. And when you get bottlenecked, you just become vulnerable to sweepers that are extremely specific. The Obosh red deck, it's mostly 1-drops with like 3s that doubles as cheap things, and you just get hammered by both the sweepers. This version a little less vulnerable, but still obviously it's cleaning up half my board or more every time.
Yeah, and that again boils down to my point about mono green constricting the format.
Right.
If you had aggro decks that were able to go a little bit bigger, a Gruul beatdown deck with
a Glorybringer deck
with Glorybringer or a Lovestruck Beast and Ember Cleave. Now that and elves, that's a much different deck to deal with than like mono white humans or Atarka red for Rakdos. And now even in terms of covering the aggro decks, you're stretching the deck thin and forcing them to put more cards in their deck that might be weak in a given matchup. And on any single weekend, you can find the exploits and attack them from an angle they're not prepared. With mono green constricting the format, Rakdos is able to just say, oh, there is a limited range of things people are doing to me, I'll prepare for those, and now there's no more exploits for you to attack, because it's either beat me or beat green. And that's the squeeze we've been in Pioneer for 5 or 6 months. This is a list that's certainly better against green than it is against Rakdos. You have your sideboard skewed, but it's a matter of finding your sideboard cards.
Yeah.
You only did it in the one game. You won that game very easily. So the sideboard cards look good, but it's just a question of how consistently you can find them.
Yeah, I think one of the downsides of playing the Tarka's command version of the red decks is you don't have to lose Chandra Dress to Kill, but you would much rather play creatures to just help Atarka's command and Reckless Bushwhacker be better. And what ends up happening is you just don't have things that are standalone, and you have mostly just creatures that run into the sweepers and spot removal. Whereas, the version that plays Chandra Dress to Kill, you get Light Up the Stage and just like the ability to skewer the critics, your opponent to death. And so, I don't know.
But that deck is a lot worse at just racing mono green.
Yeah.
And
it's still decent against mono green. I just think going wide is more reliable against Rakdos. But, you just handled me very easily, so it just feels bad, man.
I have 6 sweepers on the side.
I know.
So going
they all
wide,
play 6 sweepers.
Yeah.
Everyone copies Misplaced Ginger, and Misplaced Ginger plays 6 sweepers because that's what you need to beat the aggro decks, and there's a lot of them. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them, and, a sweeper can handle every manner of small aggro deck.
All right, so the next few months, y'all, so Ross and I are going to be coming up here again early in December for another tournament where we're going to do coverage, and then we're going to do another Apex Gauntlet.
It's going to be the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
Is that Saturday and Sunday.
And then sometime in the beginning of next year, like January, February, there's going to be an invitational here. We're going to be covering that. And I don't know if we're going to be doing a 2-day event or something. We might just be doing coverage twice if there's there might be an RCQ on day 2 or something. So
but basically, anytime we come up here and we're not doing coverage both days, Sunday, we're going to be doing something like this.
Future, shut up. He just cut one 2 days ago. I watch a stream all the time. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Anyway,
fine.
speaking of Misplaced Ginger, we're actually going to rage all over there. It was a wonderful time here in Caldwell. I just want to say a big shout out to Apex Gaming. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the follow button. The folks that run the store here at Apex are just
We gotta
awesome.
really look at them.
Well, I'm reading chat, whatever.
Yeah.
Why don't you look at them and talk to them?
That's
huh?
what I was doing. So hit that follow button. Go over to the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Subscribe there. You know, if you missed any section of today or the coverage from yesterday, all of that is going to be put up on YouTube over the course of this week. So you'll get to see the VODs there and catch up on anything that you missed. You know, this is a great store that is building the community around this area along with the other local stores. So a really awesome thing to support. We're happy to do it, and going to be up here, you know, as often as they'll have us, really, and you know, bringing coverage of these events, and then bringing you things like this on days when there isn't an event to coverage.
All right.
Cover.
Well, Ross, it was a good time. Let's head home, though. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and thanks again to Apex for having us and making us feel like we are welcome, you know. But y'all go watch Misplaced Ginger. He's playing Rakdos, probably. I mean, that's a good bet, right?
I've never seen him play anything else.
That's true, too. All right, but thanks again for watching, and thanks again to Apex. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.